Hello, Jim Dramatic here. Welcome to a little mini-sode once again. This is thsi for Series 10, and I felt a bit lonely during them. I mean, I thought maybe I could do them on paper by myself, but in reality I feel like I need someone else with me. These aren't really proper full podcasts, obviously.
James playing the world's smallest violin for you.
Oh, as you just heard there, join me for the little mini-sode, and will hopefully be joining me for the rest of the mini-sodes. It is Owain, aka Tenty Jester.
Tenty Jester.
Yeah, I got it right this time. I said Tenty Joker one time, so it's Tenty Jester. Okay. Making
Hello,
sure I get it.
Hello,
Yeah,
Bills.
this is going to be fun, because there's a particular robot we're not the biggest fan of in this heat. Collectively. I think also, I know Anson. Is Anson not a big fan of this robot either?
Doesn't know. These guys are still.
He's mental about it. But this heat, I would say overall was very kind of filler-ish. There's a lot of battles that weren't that interesting. Ironic, weirdly enough, but
It was actually the final battle for me. There was a battle, to be honest.
yeah, there was one of the battle which I can barely call a battle, which ends up in possibly this week's oh shit moment of the week. But I mean, every Alex told me that every heat has a moment like that, and I'm starting to agree with him now. Particularly how amazingly spectacular this moment was. But also, we'll get to the robots quickly, of course. First, the one who actually managed to win the heat is that robot that shall not be named, Rapid. Rapid. I mean, actually, I will admit, me and Owain did like predictions of the battles before of what's going to happen. I was almost right on this heat. I just got Tract-Tion and Vulture mixed up. I actually got everything else right, which is...
I got a lot wrong, actually.
Yeah, well, imagine there's a certain robot you thought was going to do well and ends up killing itself. But Rapid, I thought myself, even though I wanted Terahertz to win, in my heart, I knew in my mind that Rapid was probably the one that's going to win it, because fair play to it. Rapid is a decent robot. I just don't like the kind of over-engineered, kind of the posh attitude, and also the kind of let's put stick of the gold on it, and that's the higher people that can beat us. It feels like this kind of weird Simon Cowell-esque way of going about Robot Wars as well. And I don't know, I'm just not the biggest fan. I mean, it doesn't look that interesting either, Rapid. I mean, it does the job, but...
Yeah. One thing that really got on my tits when I was watching this episode just now was after the group battle with Rapid, Bucky, and Tract-Tion. The team captain of Rapid, and I don't care to remember his name,
Josh,
literally says, "Let's let these kids have a real taste of engineering." And I was like, you don't suck your own dick, do you?
No, he doesn't, and he's like, oh, I'm just going to beat these kids, I don't really care. And...
There's no such thing as a real taste in engineering in my eyes. If you can build a robot, then you're a pretty damn good engineer.
Yeah, and considering the fact you're going against essentially newcomers into the Robot Wars scene as well, he's like, oh, yeah, we've got to beat them.
To say that they've just had a real taste of engineering in the way that he did, I'm sorry, but who went to the judge's decision with a giant pair of teeth?
And also, who died because their robot was too complicated to work last year? Yeah, real taste of engineering that was.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, fairness. It also kind of annoying that they said, oh, they've improved it. Twice in a row in this heat, their gas just leaked for no reason. Like
before the match retraction in the group battle, in the singles.
Twice in a row as well. That's kind of like once, fair enough, but twice it seems a bit okay. Maybe we should improve that bit, but. Again, Rapid itself as a robot is one I kind of respect, but also really getting irritated at the same time by. But, it's one of those things.
I'm willing to admit it is a good robot. I just don't like the team at all.
Yeah, because my heart was always for Terahertz.
Yeah.
I mean, Terahertz really performed in this heat.
It did.
Up until the heat final, it was like just hit. I swear the Axe is more powerful this series. Because
it was his best performance of the reboosted era.
Yeah, and it still has a chance to be in the grand final as well, because it came second. Yeah. And, actually, I'm starting to think that John Reed might know some of the memes about him, because he did say good hit at least 3 times in this heat, I swear. Like he said, we got some good hits, we had a good hit there. I think he knows. He must know that... I mean, he's become a whole meme on shunt posting as of, everywhere now. He's little facing disgraceful. and waiting for a good hit. John reads Pink D. Yeah, he's a memeable icon now, and he's an icon of both Robot Wars and the meme community. And Terahertz is beautiful.
Why do you think I called him Mean Daddy that one time in one of your videos?
What was that, sorry?
Why do you think I called him Mean Daddy in one of your videos? Then?
Well, exactly. He's just, and Terahertz, while it's still one of those like old, you know, as long in terms of the team, it's as old as Behemoth. In terms of the robots, Series 5, obviously, but it's still really cool to see him get that chance. I mean, in both reboot series, he's just fallen in the group state. You know, the kind of second round before the Heat final. And it's like this time he made a Heat final, but it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. I mean, again, my heart was saying Terahertz, my brain was saying Rapid.
Yeah, I was so hoping Terahertz would just pull like a really good hit and just knock something loose.
I was hoping for it as well, but Rapid's slippery. Rapid's
I will say this: Terahertz, it is an outdated robot now. Like, I love it, but it's outdated.
A little bit, but that axe is still powerful. You gotta give him that.
What we really need is the axe of Terahertz with the body of Beta, and it would be absolutely unstoppable.
I would be all down for that. I really would be. But yeah, Terahertz coming second. So they're still in the 10-way melee, which is looking really good so far. Because, you know, you got Apollo, you got Sabretooth, Big Nipper, Eruption, now Terahertz, and Tract-Tion is also in the 10-way melee. And
I fell in love with this team.
I love him. I mean, I liked the robot anyway, but we actually got a comment from one. Sorry, I forgive you, I've forgotten your name, but one of the lads from the Tract-Tion team commented on my preview video for the Series 10 robots, saying, like, you know, he kind of took our joking of the robot quite well. He's like, oh yeah, it was our first attempt, we understand that, and we'll try it again. It's like, you know, you try again, you know, have a go again, because honestly, even this team are great. Like, they're sort of like the Cherub Kids, where they don't really mind what happens in the day as long as they have fun doing it, and you could tell they were having a blast filming.
You could tell they were having a lot of fun.
They were, and Tract-Tion, again, it's not the most advanced robot ever, but I kind of really wanted them to beat Rapid out of nowhere just because of how smug Josh was.
Yeah.
But it was never to be. I mean, you beat him twice in the heat, so...
But at the end of the day, it is essentially a Series 3 robot entered in with all these Series 10 robots. But they did really well for having a Series 3 robot.
It's true, and it's not the worst looking robot ever. I mean, just look at Overdoser, for example. I mean, that's the standards for worst robot entered in the modern series, or maybe possibly Sweeney Todd as well.
I would say Sweeney Todd over Overdoser, because the Overdoser team, they admitted they were beginners and they were just trying it out, and they came back and they learned.
I suppose so, yeah. But Tract-Tion, while it's not the elite robot in the world, how many first-time competitors can say they've made it into a 10-way melee with all veterans of Robot Wars? They're the only newcomers in so far.
Yeah.
Which is really amazing. All the other robots have either won tournaments or, you know, done really well outside and inside of Robot Wars, got to grand finals, semi-finals, what have you, in the past and present. And Tract-Tion's come in as a student of... Isn't that kind of funny? Will Thomas didn't make it into the 10-way melee with Shockwave, but his students did. I find that amazing, and he barely made it into the 10-way as well. He just lost very unluckily, but it's really fun.
Shockwave.
Imagine, like, yay, we came in. Imagine, like, how have you done? Have you done, sir? Well, our robots kind of didn't. Our disc stopped and got stuck on our back. Oh. Well, we made it because we didn't have to fight. Yay! But, you know, it's all serious. I love Tract-Tion. The team are great. Again, admittedly, it's not a great robot, but it's a first-time team. This is the kind of people who are going to go into the future and make the robots.
They had the spirit. I would say that. They had the spirit of a great team.
They made up for it in spades with their personality. One, actually, Vulture. Very unlucky in some regards. On the other hand, I was not surprised how effective their weapon was, as in it wasn't effective, because it's a very tiny blade on the robot.
And it's spinning the wrong way as well.
Yeah, it is. It's going downwards, isn't it, when it hits? Yeah. It's just really weird. I don't get why it's doing that. And
flywheel spin downwards purposely.
Also, it's funny how the team... I mean, the team are okay, but I did like that one that one kind of slightly weird moment where Jarvis is like, can you stop filming us, please?
Yeah, and Anderson was giving me the play-by-play of Jarvis from the team. From what I've heard, he's all around not very nice man.
I wouldn't be saying that on here, but the one it's I don't know if that's the case. I've never really met the bloke, but I know he's one of the mods on the Unofficial Robot Wars. And
We're in trouble for that now, aren't I?
yeah, sure, but no, the actual robot itself, it's one of those robots I thought to myself, it's either going to be really good or it's going to be really underperforming, and unfortunately it was kind of the latter category. Which is it's a shame, because I'll give them credit though, for people who aren't really engineers by trade for the most part, they actually came up with a competent looking robot. It's just a shame that it wasn't very effective, unfortunately. And it did seem to suffer from a lot of problems constantly. Its weapons stopped working, the armor stopped working.
I was looking forward for them to like really impress me, but they didn't, and it was really disappointing.
It was a shame. It was once one of the robots I was looking forward to seeing the most. But
Yeah,
and
it was more than that, Kirby.
yeah, but I'll give him credit for trying a unique idea, but it just needs either improving or trying something else, because
You
it
need
just...
to dip spinning the other way.
Yeah, spin it the other way, maybe get some more mass on it if you can. I don't know how, again, these are suggestions, I don't know how it would work, but it could be possible, or maybe just have a fixed spinning disc, maybe like, have an aftershock or something like that.
Mechanism for your arm exposed.
Yeah, that was one of the big things. Also, adding Velcro onto your robot didn't really help either.
No,
Um,
I'll point that out.
that didn't help, no. But one robot I was looking forward to so much, it's... oh, come on, it's Bucky. The Bucky...
They did so well.
It was such a shame, because they went out so anticlimactically as well. It was, I mean, that mascot is like the stuff. I mean, he's gonna be shunt posted for days. I mean,
Just walking hand in hand with Dara at the end.
I shed a tear watching that. It was like the end of Casablanca. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah,
top 10 anime moments.
you enough for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and right, whoever's in that costume, I forgot the name, but fair play. I think it was his brother, the captain's brother, or someone related to him. But if not, who was fair play? You kept that role going. You didn't say a single word throughout the whole filming, which is great, keeping the character up. And but
I'm surprised they let him in the booth with them as well.
yeah, that was kind of creepy, because you could always see it staring in the background constantly, everywhere it was. It was just menacing, and it survived a whole 3 minutes. Albeit barely at the end, but it still managed to 3 minutes against Rapid. And also, one thing I have to point out that really made me laugh about the robot is the air horn.
Yeah.
I
I completely forgot they had an air horn, so I was just watching the match and hearing this, and I was like, what the hell's going on? Oh.
yeah, because Alex mentioned it in our preview video, and I was like, oh, I hope they show it in, and they did. Of course they would have the air horn in. It was amazing. I mean, it was pointless, but it was funny. So... I'll give them fair play for that. And the robot itself, it's so funny how wobbly and frail it is.
I said this when we did the Series 10 review. It reminds me a lot of Ghost Raptor from Season 1 BattleBots. Due to how shaky it looks and how shaky it was. But a lot like Ghost Raptor, it stayed together, it lasted.
Yeah, it's massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just huge, this robot. And one thing that really worried me, though, that thankfully they've never actually faced Apex at any point, but it's just the fact that those motors at the wheels are so exposed. It was worrying me. That Matilda's going to hit them, or would Dead Metal get a hold of them, or something.
Yeah, thankfully it didn't get destroyed.
Yeah, Matilda was there the entire time and never got on once, which is... Well, only a little bit, but it wasn't...
On a strong part of the armour.
Yeah, thankfully the one part is actually armoured that got him hit, which is very lucky. Considering the robot's mostly unarmoured. But... Yeah.
Did you notice also, this was the only robot so far that is unaffected by the fog of war.
Yeah, it's taller than the fog.
Yeah, you could just see the top of the teeth over the fog.
It was fun. It was funny. I mean, the fog of war was used so many times as heat, and it didn't really do anything, as usual. But you know what? Even though, again, I knew Bucky wasn't going to be the most effective robot in the world, because I mean, now it's a gas-powered flip, basically a flipper crusher. Essentially, it's not. It wasn't going to do very well, but you know what?
Too steep for any robot to go up.
And no real wedge on it to get underneath robots either, which is a bit of a problem. But you know what? It was a great robot, and again, we hope to see him again.
It's the spirit of Robot Wars in a nutshell.
It was the jellyfish of the series.
Yeah.
It really was, but in a good, and I mean that in the best way possible as well, obviously. So
Like, people say that Donald Thump was the joke robot of this year. No, it
no,
wasn't.
no,
He was.
it was close, but Bucky was the joke robot for the series.
Donald
Um,
love you, but Bucky is just the best in terms of joke robots this year.
it's in a league of its own, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then finally, the glass cannon. People,
Ooh!
some robots consider glass cannons. I think this is a glass, like, mortar. This is a glass bazooka. This thing is just, obviously it's Apex we're talking about here. I mean, having
I called it. It took off.
yeah, I mean, it was a shame because obviously Craig failed to qualify with Foxix, so he decided to join his brother's team with Apex, and had to follow orders from him. There was a little moment where he was getting really frustrated and throwing stuff, and
Yeah.
I'm still not sure that was Danby acting or Danby genuinely annoyed, because
It didn't look like
sometimes
that to me. Like, maybe it was. I've been wrong about Danby's behavior on the show before, but to me, that didn't look like acting.
I'm still not sure myself. I was thinking I've asked Craig himself, really, but seeing it go out in such a spectacular way, it was like on the one hand it was impressive, but at the same time you really felt for Craig in that last bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never seen someone, ever since Chompler, I've never seen someone that upset when the robot's gone out. It was
Amazing sight.
it was impressive. I mean, unfortunately, Apex didn't really do much in either of its battles, because in its first battle, its weapon broke after the first hit, and in the second battle, it exploded.
Forward to that car blade, and it just stopped.
It lasted longer than Vulture, mind you, but that was only because Vulture was getting pummeled by Terrorvits the entire time. But it managed to hold its own for the most part, but then it just died near the end. But
Yeah.
Apex, again, its biggest problem really was the fact that its weapon is just as large as as larger than the robot itself. Which
Do we actually know what happened to the bar? Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, do we like after production? You mean?
Like, what happened for it to explode, basically?
I think just watching it back, because obviously even the slow mo is really hard to tell. But I think what happened was when it was spinning around after their first hit against Tract-Tion, it knocked its own belt off, which in turn the belt went flying. Which I think in turn it must have loosened one of the bolts after rattling around, and then it just flew off. I think that's what happened, because in the first match in its first match, the bolt fell off again. So I think this time they were just very lucky that it wasn't a serious. But I think something part of the whole thing that holding the bar on fell off as it was spinning around. So
Jesus.
it was impressive, though, bloody impressive.
Yeah.
But
I'm just going to say this now. Apex is no longer known as Apex to me. It's known as Electrode because it used self-destruct.
oh, too soon.
Sorry, I love you.
Oh, we love Craig. We love the whole Danby clan. One thing before we get to the battle that made me laugh, in the little promo video, when they were bringing the bars out of the shed, you actually see, oh, what's his brother called? I'm sorry, this is annoying me now. Not Craig.
Chris Danby.
Chris, yeah, that's it. Yeah, Chris.
Yeah.
When he was bringing the kind of standards bar out, not the guitar shaped one. He pulled it out and he pumped it against the roof. And he kind of got shocked for a sec because he couldn't get through the doorway. That really made me laugh. I don't know why. It was a small.
That bar is ridiculously big.
It's massive, yeah. But yeah, that was the glass cannon itself, Apex.
Half-Life looks at it and goes, "Whoa."
Yeah, it was. I mean, hell, that bar was certainly something. We'll get to that battle obviously when we we get to it. But the first lot of battles, I mean, Rapid, Tract-Tion and Bucky. I mean, yeah, Tract-Tion lasted a decent amount of time before he flipped out, I guess. It didn't really have much to do, Tract-Tion, unfortunately, because he just kind of pondered around and got flipped over, then flipped out.
Longer than its next match with Rapid.
Was that, sorry?
It lasted longer than its other match with Rapid.
That is true, yes, it did. Bucky managed to flop about and stay in the entire battle, but the best part for me is when Ratno and Bucky clamped onto the arena wall and started chewing the scenery, literally. It started chewing the scenery, which is hilarious, because I remember Alex actually told me about that, and I was like, I can't wait to see that actually happen. And it managed to self-right itself by doing that.
Yeah, I was looking at that, and like Dara and Angela were like, "Oh, is this the end of Bucky?" And I was just looking at the screen, going, "It can get out of there."
And it did.
Not that hard.
In spectacular fashion as well. It's kind of bent, you're flipping itself over to get back. But it lasted the full 3 minutes. Again, just barely, but it lasted the full minute against Rapid. But I did love the bit where, like, after the battle, who's won that, I wonder? Me. Oh, I love that guy. He's great. I mean, but Rapid was kind of obviously won that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was no contest. Just as much with the Terahertz, Apex, and Vulture battle. I mean, Apex's weapon died on the first hit, which is unfortunate because it wasn't even that big of a hit, really, was it? I mean, it just bounced into Terahertz and a few sparks, and then it just stopped.
This match reminded me of Razor, Velociraptor, and Robo Chicken.
Yeah, I can see what you mean, because it was kind of one robot just dominating the other two, really.
One veteran and a bunch of rookies. The veterans doing all the work, dominating the entire match.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it's kind of true. It's a three-way melee as well.
I was just it's like this before.
Vulture proved its weapon was very ineffectual right off the bat. I mean, apart from how it spins downwards, it's also the fact that it just didn't really. It lost drive on one side, and Apex survived, but then started smoking and then died. So it wasn't a good time for Apex or Vulture.
I'm not sure. Is this the first time Terahertz's axe has actually lodged itself inside another robot?
I think so. Actually, there was one bit when we laughed. All three of the robots got stuck together at the same time. Yeah. Well, because obviously Vulture was stuck in Terahertz's axe, and then I love that Apex came and said, "I'll come and save you." Shit.
From the Lego movie where Green Lantern's trying to save Superman but gets stuck himself.
Yeah. It was. I mean, the whole team were like, "Oh, come on, okay, can't do anything now." But
like, save you? Oh wait, no, I need saving.
I've just made the situation worse for myself. But it was kind of a predictable fight, honestly. I mean, once Apex's weapon went, what else could it do? It hit the fog of war off.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was something, but that was really all it could do. Hoping for the pit, maybe. But it's got no pushing power, so I don't know what it could really do. But yeah, Terahertz kind of won that one very comfortably by KOing both its opponents. But the most shocking part of the episode has to be the Apex and Tract-Tion fight.
I gave Tract-Tion 2 hopes, and Bob Hope was dead.
Yes. I mean, as I mentioned before, we had a prediction of what was going to happen. This was the battle that me and Owain had the most contention about. Because we could probably think everything else is, something else, although it was just a matter of opinion. This was the one battle that would determine our entire predictions, almost. Because I predicted right. I thought Apex was going to go berserk and kill itself. And you thought Tract-Tion's done for. Which is a reasonable assumption, because, Tract-Tion is Tract-Tion. Apex is a massive spinning bar, but...
Like I said, it's a Series 3 robot and Series 10, and you're up against a giant bar spinner. I was just thinking, what else is going to happen? I did not expect one of the robots to explode. No,
I didn't expect the almost 40-kilogram blade to go flying through the plexiglass and almost go for the second lot of glass. It was mental, it just... you could see their teams physically ducking, because it was coming near their area.
It wasn't just the bar, there was nuts going all over the arena, and the robot itself just flew into Sir Killot CPZ.
Yeah, it was mental. It was beautiful. I mean, until they slow-moed it, you didn't see what happened.
It was glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
Also, screw the BBC for spoiling this for me. Okay, I'm just going to mention this quickly, because on the website... No, not on the Robot Wars website, but on the BBC website. They have the promo clips and stuff. And originally they had a promo clip for Apex. It's the standard one where they show the turntable shot, them talking in the interview, and then a snippet of that battle. And it cuts away. It's that bit where they show, it's in the episode itself, where they show a bit of the battle, and then they cut to Dara and Angela, and they show a reaction to that big moment, and they go, "Oh wow!" And that's all you saw the episode. It's like, okay, fair enough. That's a preview. Yesterday or the day before, they changed the thumbnail so it shows the bar going flying.
That was the thumbnail you were talking about.
Yeah, they changed it because originally it was just the picture was also just a picture of Apex on the turntable. I was like, okay, that's the Apex promo. I just instantly checked the website to see if another video had been uploaded for something, and it's there.
Thank God I stayed away from that.
I wish I didn't think it was going to happen. So fuck you, BBC. I'm just going to say that now for doing that. But apart from that, this battle was still spectacular, and I was right. Tract-Tion kind of bullshitted its way through the battle in the funniest way possible, but.
And just add insult to injury, Sir Killot's just like, oh god, you're going in the pit now.
Yeah, and Craig Dammers. Oh, come on. I mean, the fact is, the robot was smashed. The robot was broken. It was total. Like, the bits of chain were flying everywhere. There was the whole robot, even though it wasn't that damaged in the bomb, it looked beaten up around the air where the motor had gone flying out. I mean, the disc had gone flying out.
Yeah, I'm looking through the discussion post on the unofficial Robot Wars page. Apparently, Chris managed to get the robot back and working half an hour later.
Wow. Actually,
can't be that destroyed.
It does feel kind of slightly on. I mean, did they check? I mean, they must have checked if Apex was still alive before they carried on the battle. Because otherwise, Sakat's pitting seems a bit unfair.
Well, it would have stopped the match and probably disqualified them, because I think that's why they lost, because they were disqualified for, because Pussycat got disqualified infamously in Series 3 for doing the thing. Their weapons.
More than likely. I mean, it was a shame to I mean, it's impressive, but a very sad way to go out.
Yeah.
But
it also does reinforce the fact the arena needs to be rebuilt a lot stronger.
Yes, it does, and it really need more than plexiglass.
It's something that Mike keeps bringing up in his live reviews of the rebooted series. They need to rebuild this arena to make it a lot stronger.
It's true, it really does, and this kind of highlights it in a lot of ways. Plus Carbide's existence.
Yeah, Series 8, it was fine, because spinners had only just come back, not a lot of people were using spinners. Carbide was basically the only big spinner there, and Carbide wasn't as strong as it is now. Series 9, okay, yeah, a lot more spinners are coming in. They should rebuild the arena. Series 10, they need to. It's an essential thing they need to do.
The BBC are cheap, though.
Yeah.
Apparently so. But
it's really an issue that needs to be brought up to them, because I don't see Robot Wars lasting much longer with the arena that it's got now.
But
someone's going to get hurt one day with that arena.
Yeah, the arena's getting hurt all the time. But yeah, this was spectacular 15 seconds of battle. But Tract-Tion's still fully functioning, just a scratch on the kindly donated Vulture wedge. Because believe me, if that had hit the front of the robot, I would have done so much more damage than just a little scratch.
I was expecting the wedge to just go flying off.
That's why I thought it was actually going to go flying in the promo video. But then they spoiled him on the bar instead, so yay. Yeah. But yeah, Tract-Tion won that one really luckily. And then we have Vulture and Bucky. This battle wasn't actually that interesting, honestly. No. It was kind of boring, and unfortunately it ended in a really shit way as well. You know, Bucky getting on the flipper, getting stuck on its side and unable to self-right. It wasn't that interesting, this battle, honestly. It was just kind of a lot of them just driving around. I mean, in fairness, Bucky's not a very effective offensive weaponry. Vulture's not very destructive. They
managed to get Vulture over a few times.
Oh, they did a few times, yeah. But it just, I don't know. The battle itself was probably one of the weaker battles of the heat, and it's more, and also doesn't help that it ends in a really anticlimactic note as well.
Yeah.
But I mean, Vulture won it fair, so.
Into the sunset with Bucky's mascot.
It was, again, a very, very sad moment, but a very tear-jerking but beautiful moment at the same time. But yeah.
Better was if they, after the match, they got some styrofoam tears and just blue tacked them onto the Bucky mascot.
I think they should have done that.
And then, tilted the eyebrows so it looks a lot sadder.
Yeah. I would love that. But hopefully Bucky come back again. I want to see the mascot once again.
I want to see him come back.
It's beautiful.
I
love Bucky as well. But unfortunately they had to go out here in a very sad way. Vulture gets to get redeemed. And then we have rematches. For some reason they didn't decide to put them against the other robots. They went with the same robots in the first round with.
I don't get that.
I didn't get it because normally they mix and match them. But here they just went, just put them in the same battle. And then Apex... not Apex. Rapid versus Tract-Tion. Is this the quickest KO?
We've already talked about it longer than the match actually went on.
Yeah, it's true. Because, I mean, obviously the previous record was Eruption versus Cherub.
I thought Gravity still held the record. I thought Eruption barely lost out to it.
Oh, did Eruption barely lose out on that?
I think so. I'm not sure. I'll have to recheck.
Alright, but in terms of the reboot series, I mean...
Yeah.
I think this might be faster now than the Eruption battle. I mean, they didn't really pull any punches, did they, Rapid? And straight in. After realising they had a leak and they had to, do it this quickly, otherwise they'd be out. That's good. That's a good start for your 25 grand robot with the gold painted on it. But give them credit. They took him out. It didn't lead to a good fight, but they proved they can do it. So that's something, I guess. This actually would be Tract-Tion's last fight, wouldn't it? In this entire heat, because they'd have to fight the next one. But yeah, there's not much. Not much. Can't say anything about this battle. It just flipped out the arena. Yeah, that was it.
Guardrail got bent a little bit.
What was that, sorry?
We could say the guardrail got bent a little bit.
Ah, wow. Yay.
Yeah.
that was a quote-unquote battle. Terahertz versus Vulture was quite fun, because just seeing Terahertz pummel Vulture over and over again with that axe was brilliant.
Good hit, good hit, good hit, good hit, good hit, good hit.
Full of good hits. It was so great. I mean, unfortunately the weapons stopped working 2/3 away for the battle, but I love that Vulture couldn't do anything to anyway. So
I love that Vulture didn't even realise the weapons stopped working.
To me, it was obvious. In fact, it was just not working. Let's face it, for most of the entire prior fight, Terahertz was hitting them, and then the one time they stopped hitting, you think, okay, there's something up here, because Terahertz would fire axe if it could.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of obvious, but at the end of the day, though, Vulture kind of ended up on its back, which is kind of a funny way to end.
I told Anderson this just after the match. I know James loves looking at his robots in a pathetic state, and
that's one. That's actually that's probably one of the biggest ones of the reboot series so far. Actually, another sad one was from last heat with Gabriel's being neutered.
I'm still bitter over that.
Same here, but one thing I have to be contentious about. I swear the battle ended with Vulture on its wheels. Because you see at the very end, you see Terahertz spinning around in victory, and it flipped, and it was stuck on its wheels. And then when they come back into the arena, it's on its back.
Maybe the match ended, and then Vulture tipped over onto its wheels, and because I think it was Alex that said they take the robots to the side, remove the links, then put them back where they were. So maybe they tried putting Vulture back onto his front.
Maybe, but either way, that's going to be the picture for this battle.
Yeah.
Hands down, it's such a pathetic image. But we have to.
Weevil, Scorpion, and Firestorm.
Yeah, and Coyote as well. There's another one for me. After Carbide.
And Stealth as well.
Stealth, yeah. There's so many sad ones, but one I think you definitely have to agree with this, Owain, right?
Yeah.
Vulture versus Tract-Tion was the best fight of the whole whole heat.
Oh, it was so epic.
It was so great they couldn't show us it. That's how good it was. But yeah, in all seriousness, Vulture ended up having it pulled a rapid. They couldn't. Yeah. They pulled a rapid. There was one problem with the robot, and they couldn't fix it because it was too extensive to fix. Which all down to Terahertz, obviously, but it was kind of a shame because I wanted to see secretly what the Vulture Tract-Tion fight would have been like. But
I would have given it to Vulture because one lucky shot against the Tract-Tion would have snapped them.
Yeah, it was probably built for going against them, really, because it kind of since the spinner spins backwards, it could pull it off as opposed to hitting it. So as hitting it away, so it could have done that. But
it's like one match in this episode, the Vulture could have easily won, and they copped that.
Yeah, although it was quite fun seeing the kids going, "Yeah, we actually won that now," because through bullshit.
The look of realization on their face.
It was great, and I'm actually starting to think this battle was the reason why this heat was so full of filler.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that near the end, but there's some moments where I just think they really were padding out this episode for the longest runtime. But I knew this heat wouldn't be the most action-packed in the world, but, I thought it'd be more than this. But yeah, Vulture had the first robot to forfeit in this series, meaning that, Tract-Tion made it into the final 10. Against former Grand Finalists, winners on live circuits. Yeah, this is going to be a fun match for them. They'll just hide in the corner.
Not gonna last, is it? Like, you've got Big Nipper in there.
Yeah, that alone could kill them. Then you have to have Apollo, Eruption, Sabretooth, Terahertz. And then potentially other robots. I mean, look at robots in the future that might appear. Tauron,
Iron Ore,
Concussion, Thor,
Nuts,
Magnetar, Push to Exit. There's so many robots in the future that could potentially be against them, and it's just, you think, oh god, this is going to be a massacre. In the best way possible, though. They'll have fun anyway, I know they will. But we were all, let's face it, I think
But,
everyone was waiting for the Heat final.
well, yeah, because we all called it.
Yeah, and also it's the only two robots I think would have been made a really interesting fight together.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite a good tactical battle on Rapid's part. Because
It was the best match of the night, in my opinion.
it was the best, yeah, it was definitely hands down the best match of the Heat, but the one thing I liked about Rapid's technique was that they actually purposely made terahertz lose all their CO2.
Yeah.
Because at first I just thought Rapid was broken, Flipper was broken because it's Rapid. But then I realized they were using all the obstacles properly, they got terahertz into a lot of tight corners. Rapid were on attacked by dead metal at one point, but that flip at the how they bent the rails.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was a really, really well driven and well good fight from both teams, so I'll give them praise.
It was. And like I said, I'll give Rapid praise for being a good robot. It works. It's got a fantastic weapon. It's just a team I have an issue with.
It's fair enough, I guess. I can see what you mean. I mean, I have problems with robots just overspending and over-engineering for no reason. When normal
Mortis.
stuff... Yeah, Mortis is another one. Just, again, they're kind of... They're considered the new Mortis, although they're actually more effective than Mortis, so, what are you going to do? They actually have won a Heat, unlike Mortis since Series 2. But, yeah, this was an amazing Heat final. Which is a shame, because the overall Heat, I don't think was that amazing. I mean, It had some okay robots, but I think you could tell looking at the lineup this was going to be the weaker Heat of the series. Because...
It's the Heat C curse for me for the rebooted series, because Heat C of Series 8, TR2 won it. I thought it was the worst Heat of the series. Same with Series Concussion. Yeah, I thought that was the worst Heat, and now once again.
Yeah, it seems like they put the weakest Heat in the middle, so people can so it doesn't end on a downer, I guess in a way. But there's a lot.
Curse with Heat C, because you got Series 3 and 4 Heat Cs as well.
At least Heat 5C is alright.
Yeah.
That's an exception to the rule. Actually, even Series 2's wasn't that bad compared to the rest of Series 2's Heats. So it's not always terrible. And Series 1's is okay, I guess. But, yeah, particularly a Heat C curse is a massive thing for some reason. I don't know why. But it does show, particularly the Vulture fight, I was saying before, I was talking about filler. Right, they showed the stats boards constantly.
Yeah.
They had that bit with Lucy Rogers. They have the one with the jetpack was kind of one thing, the Iron Man guy. But this was just literally, let's just talk about the hazards.
So what do the house robots do?
What do they do? If you haven't worked that out in, 20 years, there's something wrong with you. And also, let's talk about what the fog does. Okay, we know what that does. Thanks for telling us.
Seeing.
It was, I kind of felt sorry for Lucy, because, in other series, they were actually talking about proper cool scientific technologies and stuff and things that were going on in the world. She has a little dinosaur, which is pretty cute, and pollinating for animal, robots. You have robots that can serve you drinks. It's pretty cool. And then even the Iron Man guy. And now it's just, what do the robots do? House robots do? Because we don't know.
Jane Middlemiss impression.
What does
this robot do?
That is what it was. It felt kind of patronising slightly. Because they literally had nothing else. Which is weird, because you think they could have got something scientific to talk about for about a few minutes, but...
Yeah.
No. Then at least anyone felt like a waste of time. It would be something new, but here we're just about something we've already seen before. It'd be like... I don't know, it would be like watching a game of football, and in that interval bit, they just go... What
are the rules of football again?
What's the net made of? No one gives a shit. You know what I mean? It's just one of these things I'm surprised they made them do that. And I don't know, it just felt really awkward that this is they're just clearly wasting time. Because I actually had suspicions that something was going to go wrong later on, because there wasn't this much padding in other episodes previously in the series, so it really started showing it up. But two interviews with two little segments with John Reed as well. It was nice to see, but then it's they'll just keep showing the same clips over and over again. It's there's something wrong here. And then when Vulture, I remember saying to a mate I was watching with it, I said, that's why there's so much filler. Because there was only one less battle than normal, and all the other battles didn't last very long.
Yeah, I was looking at the time when Vulture and Tract-Tion were about to go. I was like, hold on, something's not right here.
So it's 5 minutes to the end, what the hell? But overall, in the first hit I gave about a 7.5. The next hit I gave a good solid, I think I gave it an 8.5 to a 9, something like that. This one probably gets a solid 5.
I'd give 4.5 for me.
It would be 4 if it wasn't for the Heat final and seeing the Apex moment. Honestly. Those kind of saved the Heat. The rest of the battles are okay at least, but not mind-blowing.
Yeah.
And also an extra half a point. Actually, I'll give it 5.5. Extra half point for the Tract-Tion teams. They're awesome.
Yeah.
I'll do that. 5.5 out of 10. How about that? But yeah, this. I think even though the other 2 Heats haven't started yet, I think the grand final's gonna be the best one because of the 10-way melee and all that. But
Well, we've got Behemoth, Carbide, and Rapid.
that's gonna be amazing. I want to see Rapid get beaten up by Carbide though.
Yeah, please.
I don't care about the Behemoth Carbide rematch. I just want to see that.
I've rolled like welded onto the ends of his spinning bar.
Yeah. And next week, oh boy, next week is going to be fun. Because, I mean, we have Concussion returning, we have Nuts 2, Androne 4000, a newcomer. We have Iron Ore 6, Toron, and the Kegs. Oh boy. From what I've seen on promo videos, the Kegs die. I think that's one of the things I would say it's spoiling, but I've seen it in 2 different clips where he gets killed from 2 different angles. And it's against Concussion, in a promo clip. You see it again. It's also got to be against Toron, I think.
It's also against Nuts at some point as well. Nuts just spins so fast.
Yeah, actually in the promo clip from this night, you actually see Concussion pinned down by Androne. Which is pretty cool, actually, because I thought Androne would be quite a fodder robot, relatively speaking, but it's a good robot, but I thought compared to everything else it might not be. But no, it actually might be holding its own. And if Nuts 2 wins the opening melee, you know what? I would be so happy. I don't know why. I love Concussion, but you know what? Go up for the Nuts team. Why not? But
you gotta get a big win.
Yeah, you got even one big victory, haven't you? But yeah, this Heat wasn't great.
Jellyfish.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, because Jellyfish was sort of their sister project with Dave.
Then.
It's a shame that Dave didn't return for Nuts slightly, but they're the 4th team member, as you say, yes. But oh well.
Yeah.
But they have 2-headed Death Flamingo now, so you never know.
I really want to see Iron Robot.
That needs to be in Series 11. Please, producers, do that.
Yeah.
But
the name of sells it.
Yeah.
Flamingo.
It's the perfect name for anything. But yeah, that was Heat C. It was okay. Again, some battles were okay, some battles were kind of boring, and some battles were too predictable or short. And the filler was long, and having one less fight just kind of detracts from it slightly. But you know what? It happens. But it's the Heat C curse. But yeah, this was Minisode Heat C for Series 10. I'm Jim Dramatic signing off.
And I'm the 10th Jester, and I'm about to. What was I going to do again?
I don't know.
Sudden amnesia, everyone.
Yay! Well, bye, folks. Then you hooray for Amnesia, I guess.
I really ruined that ending.